Yes.
Mr. Celestine, in that case, you are charged with the third-degree felony offense of deadly conduct, discharging a firearm, from March 22nd of 2024. And how do you plead to that charge?
Guilty.
And do you understand, if I follow the agreement that you've made with the district attorney, that you'll be waiving or giving up any right to appeal?
Yes, ma'am.
And it looks like the agreement that you've reached is the same as what was in the other case that we're going to talk about today, which is a 7-year deferred probation, a $500 fine, and you would be required to follow all of the rules and conditions of probation. Is that your understanding?
Yes.
It's admitted. Is there any evidence that Mr. Celestine's not competent? All right, then I'm going to find that you entered your plea of guilty freely and voluntarily, find that you're mentally competent and you understand the nature and the consequences of that plea. So I have received in cause number 24, DCCR 1303, the pre-sentence report. You had already were here, entered a plea of guilty to deadly conduct, discharging a firearm in that case. Everyone had an opportunity to review that pre-sentence report. And then I also received a number of letters of support for Mr. Celestine, and has everyone had an opportunity to review those as well?
Yeah.
Are there any additions or corrections to that pre-sentence report?
None for the defense.
And for the state judge, other than to respectfully request of the court that this obviously very young individual who's committed a first-degree felony right out of the gate be at the very least sentenced to ISF as a condition. I'm sorry, third degree.
2 third degrees. How old are you?
19.
19 years old. And you're shooting around like it's the Wild West, aren't you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, something that I made a note of here, I went through all of these letters, and all of these letters of support about you talk about what a good kid you are, and that here's one I circled, and it says, LeBrian's a positive role model for his nephew. Do you think you're a positive role model for anyone at this point?
Not at this moment.
Not at this moment. Is that what you want him to grow up and do? And be in here shackled up like you are? What's all this? What's all these tattoos have to do with?
Just like tattoos.
Yeah?
Right.
You think getting that all over your neck is going to help you get a job, or do you think it's going to hurt you when you're trying to get a job? It would hurt you.
But what I'm doing right now, that's what I was planning on doing. But not just
He's doing tours, Your Honor.
it's like a family business. I planned on doing that.
Right? Do you think it makes people comfortable if you show up and look like that in their homes? And look, I have a tattoo. Do you see it? Is it all over here? What if that pool company falls through? What if you need another job? Right? You got to think about those things.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so here's what I'm going to do in each of your cases. I'm going to find that you entered your pleas of guilty freely and voluntarily. In each case, find sufficient evidence to find you guilty. However, in each case, in cause number 24, DCCR 1303, defer all proceedings, place you on probation for a period of 7 years. That's the agreement that you made with the district attorney. I'm going to order you pay that $500 fine and follow all of the rules and conditions of probation. And I'm going to get to those rules and conditions in just a minute. I'm also going to find inclusion evidence to find you guilty. However, I'm also going to follow the agreement that you made with the district attorney. Defer all proceedings and place you on probation for 7 years. You're also ordered to pay a $500 fine in that case and follow all of the rules and conditions of probation. One of the conditions of probation in these cases, in each of them, is that you're going to enter and successfully complete the cognitive track of the ISF program. So that's a 90-day program that is in custody. So you're going to go from the jail to that program. And it is designed to help you make better decisions. All right? You need to take advantage of it. You're still young. Today's opportunity is an opportunity of a lifetime for you because you don't have a felony conviction on your record. There are people who will not let you go to your house, regardless of who you're working for, if you are a convicted felon.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand? So even if it's a family business, you might not be able to work for that business if you have a felony conviction.
Yes, ma'am.
So if you do everything that you're supposed to while you're on this probation, then you will, at the end of the probation, both of these cases will be dismissed, and you will never have a felony conviction on your record. The other side to that in each of these cases is if you violate the probation, you're right back here in court, and you could be sentenced to prison. Number one, be convicted, obviously, in both cases, and sent to prison for up to 10 years in each case. Do you understand? A condition of your probation in each of these cases also is that you are not allowed to have any type of firearm. Do you understand? Not on your person, not in your car, not at your home. Period. No firearm. Do you understand? I'm going to hand you the trial court certification in each of your cases that shows these were agreements that I followed, and so you've waived your right to appeal. Probation will go over some paperwork before they take you back today, and then you'll go to ISF hopefully very soon. All right, you are Kadesha Eli, and Ms. Eli was previously in court, entered pleas of true to a motion to revoke probation on probation for injury to a child, elderly, or disabled individual. Entered pleas of true to counts 1 through 8. I've received an updated report. Has everyone had an opportunity to review that report?
Yeah.
Are there any additions or corrections?
Nothing to finish.
Now from the state, Your Honor, unless Ms. Lopez has anything additional to her updated PSI.
All right, thank you, Ms. Lopez. And there was not an agreement, correct?
Correct.
Mr. Lewis, you may proceed.
Well, Judge, Ms. Eli, like I said, was previously placed on probation out of this court. Early on during her probationary period, it seems she had been doing really well, doing well, or has been able to comply with the terms of probation. During that time, of course, she started having personal setbacks as far as her living situation, as far as where she would live and things of that nature. I believe at some point she did talk with probation about that, as far as trying to get some help with that. And it seemed to be working out well, even gotten to, I think she was living with your mother or your grandmother. And seemed to try to get back on track, but at some point that situation didn't work out for her either. And that's when things started to really go downhill fast as far as the not reporting and things of that nature. And it snowballed on her. Since she's been in custody, she has been able to secure a more stable living situation, of course, with her brother, that will be available to her if the court decides to reinstate her. Also, employment. She has some employment options that's available to her as well. That I think that was her main problem or issue was stability. And I think since during this time, while she was already searching for these options, Judge, but they, unfortunately, by the time they became available to her, she was in custody. Now, when I talk about the situation with her brother, for the living situation, that's also one of the job situations as well. Her brother works with Zumo Sausages, the Zumo company, and she actually worked there for a temporary period of time a while back, early on, and that job fell apart, but looks like it'll be open again for her to go back. So that's essentially what it comes down to. She's asking now that she's stable to try to see if she can have the opportunity to get out there and complete the probation like she initially tried to and wanted to.
What's the status of the theft in Orange, the new offense?
For as we know, the situation in Orange, there hasn't been a court date or anything up there. So it's still in limbo, at this point, Judge.
Okay. Ms. Malfino?
Judge, I think it's fortunate that we're not here on a violation that involves a child based on the underlying nature of this probation. I also think it's unfortunate that she doesn't have any felony offenses, was given this many opportunities, and as this court is well aware, a very good officer to work with in Ms. Lopez, and she has not done what she has been required by this court to do. So I would stand with Ms. Lopez's recommendation and defer to any other comments she might have.
So, Ms. Eli, the issue that the problem that I have is that when you first got on your probation, we sent you to the cognitive track of ISF so that you could get tools to be able to be successful and do better and make it through probation. And when you got out of ISF, you were put on the high-medium caseload so that you would have help with all of these issues that Mr. Lewis is talking about. Help with places to live and with jobs. And you were given all of that. And so for me to say, okay, you've already been given all that and you didn't take advantage of it to give you some other opportunity and just let you out when I've already given you these sanctions. And the underlying case is just very, very serious. And the fact that you got a probation was a big chance. And if you hadn't already been to ISF, then maybe I'd be thinking about, okay, let's do ISF or let's do something to give you some tools to do better. But we did that and you didn't take advantage of it. So at this time, I'm going to find that you entered your pleas of true to counts 1 through 8 freely and voluntarily. Find those counts true. Find sufficient evidence at this time to find you guilty, and at this time find you guilty of the offense of injury to a child. Sentence you to a term of 4 years in the institutional division of the Texas Department of Corrections. You will receive credit on that sentence for any time that you've been in custody that the law gives you the right to receive. This is not a plea agreement, and so you do have some rights to appeal. You can talk to Mr. Lewis about that. I'm handing you the trial court certification. It shows you do have that right to appeal. I need your signature on that, and I'll get you a copy of it. I'm also handing you a written admonishment regarding your ineligibility to possess a firearm or ammunition. Because of the judgment entered against you, you're ineligible under Texas law to possess a firearm or ammunition. Possession of a firearm or ammunition could lead to charges against you. Firearm is a legal term, and you should read the written admonishment I provided you to see what devices qualify as a firearm. If you have questions about the laws that make you ineligible to possess a firearm or ammunition, or about how long that lasts, you can talk with Mr. Lewis. All right, you can sign that, and y'all can take the bottom 2 copies.
And there it is, a young life at a crossroads, facing choices that could define everything. This courtroom wasn't just about punishment. It was about reflection, about seeing consequences before they arrive. 7 years of probation, a $500 fine, a chance to make the right decisions, to grow, to survive without a felony on your record. Every word, every pause in this courtroom carries weight, the weight of opportunity, the weight of accountability. The question now isn't what the law says, but what will this young man choose, and how will today shape the rest of his life?